Lacey B. Mills received her MFA in printmaking from Tyler School of Art at Temple University in Philadelphia and her BFA in painting and drawing from her hometown college, the University of Texas at El Paso. Her work deals with social and gender roles, using printmaking as a basis for her large-scale pieces, which have exhibited in the US, Mexico, and Italy. Currently, she works at the Southwest School of Art as the interim teen coordinator and adjunct faculty in the printmaking department, and she currently serves as the president of the South Texas Print Union. Fernanda Quezada is currently enrolled in the BFA program at Southwest School of Art with a focus on printmaking, and Daniel Espinoza has been a student of the Teen Studio Intensive for the last 2 years. Both Fer and Daniel worked closely with artist Katie Pell under this program. Having a group of 3 presenters seems like a PechaKucha first, so please make 3 times the noise for our final presenters, Lacey, Daniel, and Fer.
Hello. I'm very nervous because I've never talked in front of this many people before, but I met Katie when she taught me at Southwest School of Art. I spent almost a full semester being taught by her. I improved a lot and began to love art. I only knew her for a short amount of time, but she made a positive impact on my life. I didn't have any confidence in my skills before I met her. One of the reasons I looked up to Katie so much was because of how she treated her students. This is a Danny DeVito figurine I made last year. Katie thought it was hilarious, and it reminds me of her and her humor. Even though Katie was older than me, I still considered her one of my friends. She was one of the only adults I felt like I could trust, which made things harder when she passed away. These are some of my friends that I made at the teen program. As long as I'd known Katie, she was sick. I never got to meet the healthy Katie that I keep seeing pictures of, but I still viewed her as healthy because she kept her spirits up and was still active in the arts up until the very end. Katie was unique. I'd never met anyone like her before, and I probably never will. She always supported me in my art and never made me feel like an outcast, and I appreciated her a lot. The last time I saw her, it broke my heart to see her so weak, but even though she was still smiling. I admired how strong she was. Even at the end of her life, she wasn't gonna let anything get her down. She told me not to give up on art and to continue doing what makes me happy. I'd never lost anyone close to me before, and I miss her a lot. She was the best teacher that I'd ever had, and I will carry with me everything she's taught me, and I want to become someone that she'll be proud of. This is a Cruz Ortiz portrait of Katie I have hanging in my room that helps me keep her memory alive in my heart. I miss her a lot, and I know that the team program is my safe place.
Before meeting Katie, I was not a very happy person. I'm still not the happiest I can be, but I'm working on that. School was really tough for me. My freshman year of high school, I had trouble making new friends and leaving behind my bad friendships from middle school. I also struggled with being open and trusting with my friends. When I graduated from high school, I was afraid to begin my years at Southwest School of Art. I didn't know anyone, and I was really struggling with all the changes happening around me. I saw that SSA offered various work studies, so I applied to be the Youth Art Program Assistant. After the interview, Katie Pell and Patricia Morales welcomed me to the program. Working with Katie was truly an experience. Being able to observe Katie working with the teens has shown me the kind of qualities I want to have as an educator. Both of us talked a lot about our families. She told me what it was like being married to a man and becoming part of an entirely different culture than her own, and I told her of my experience growing up in 2 different cultures. She gave me a lot of advice, both personal and artistic. She taught me to be more patient and thoughtful of people and the possible situations they are in. She showed me how fun it is to meet and socialize with new people. This piece is called Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space, and it's a painting I made in high school. It's based on my constant awareness of my body and the way it looks to other people. I was extremely insecure with myself and my appearance. So I was very calculated with the way I move, talk, and act. I always felt like I was being watched and judged. And this is a sketch of a painting I plan on doing in the future. It is based on my interactions with Katie. Talking to Katie has changed the way I view the world and myself. I hadn't noticed how much Katie Pell had impacted my life and art. I am so grateful to have met such a strong woman and to be able to work with all the creative youth in the program.
Growing up at the base of this mountain, the Franklin Mountains, where my world was made up of deserts of El Paso, Chaparral, New Mexico, and Juarez. It was all I knew. Never did I think I'd be getting an MFA, living and working in Philadelphia, and of all places, Rome, Italy. It was tough and scary, and I always felt like an imposter, even back home. But I embraced the challenges, and I swore that I was never coming back to Texas. But things have a way of coming full circle. I ended up here in San Antonio and began teaching as adjunct faculty in the printmaking department of Southwest School of Art, and then teaching in the Kids Initiating Design Solutions and Architecture program for kids 3rd through 5th grade. Soon after, I had met Katie. She had just become the teen studio coordinator and asked if I would give a calligraph workshop to her students. I knew of her and her work, and I was slightly intimidated, and she would later be shocked and almost offended that I felt that way, but I reassured her that it was a good kind of intimidated. And again, things come full circle. This is Rosalind. You'll see her in the next slide. Then Katie and I started to work together at the Nature of Art camp at Confluence Park, where we had long conversations by the river. We shared stories. She had just lost Pete, and we kind of shared some tears, ideas, and she spoke of her tripod. Her tripod was nature, art, and love, things that were really keeping her afloat, aside from BIGO. She helped me change my philosophy, my teaching philosophy. She helped me embrace my mistakes and make fun of myself, which led me into the B-movie program, which is, at the core of it, it's improv and thinking on your feet. So you don't really have time to worry about what people are thinking about you. Like Katie said, it's none of your business what other people think of you. This was my last piece I finished right before her cancer became terminal, and it's called allelopathy, meaning the suppression of growth of one plant species by another due to the release of its toxic substances. This aggressive thing was taking my friend, my mentor, and through art, I was subconsciously preparing myself, because things come full circle and sometimes you're blindsided and left spinning. And despite losing people in the physical world, they have each opened a door for me, and they've turned on some kind of light. And if they are here, or sadly not, to all of you who have given me a chance, who have given me that open door, I thank you. And in the words of Katie Pell, thanks for paying attention to me and us.
Oh, we need this, right? Thank you guys so much. I love that we're able to hear from each of you. I love that you were each able to share your experiences with Katie. I love the time that I got to spend with Katie in her studio, as you saw in the video. My husband and I got to spend a little bit of time with Katie in her studio and do a video series with her, following her work. She's an absolute inspiration. And what I wanted to talk about with you guys is, you talk a little bit about loss, and you talk about continuing to carry that light with you. How would you tell other people who have experienced loss, what other ways can we get that loss and take it into a positive light?
Well, one of the things I learned from Katie especially, she went through so much. She lost a lot, but despite everything, in spite of everything, she was prolific with her work. She never stopped, even to the last minute when we would still thumb wrestle as I would leave her bedside. She was wanting me to go find some materials so she could make some work. And I was doing my best and I couldn't find it, and I apologized, but she's like, it doesn't matter, you're here. And she just wanted me to hang out with her. And I think no matter what's going on, good or bad, you put it into your work. And I try to tell that to my students, young and old. Whatever shit's happening in your life, it can be something positive, and the positive can be more positive. So I really do think art can change the world, as cheesy as it sounds. But yeah, just keep creating till your hands, till your body can't. That's what I would say.
Thank you. And, also to that, so Fred, you're going through the BFA program right now at the Southwest School of Art. I'm kind of curious to see, for you to talk a little bit about what have you enjoyed about the teen intensive program now going into the BFA? What have you, learned, and what would you say to other teens who are interested in pursuing the visual arts?
So I've really enjoyed being able to see all the teens in the program grow as an individual and an artist. And the program is really good for building community and meeting a bunch of people that are like you and have the same passion and likes as you do. And not only does it build community, but it gives you the resources to experiment with art and be able to build yourself and grow as an artist.
Wonderful, thank you. And Daniel, I know you talked a little bit about how the program was impactful to you, how Katie was impactful to you. Do you want to, share a little bit more about, how was the program, how did that really develop your growth as an artist, and where do you hope to go from here?
One thing I really liked about the program that made it different than other art classes I'd been in high school is it's more of a hands-on approach because there's less students. There's only about 15 of us, and there's access to supplies and different types of art that I wouldn't be able to do on my own, and some types of art that I'd never even thought about doing before. And I'm not quite sure where I want to go from here because I'm still pretty young, but I hope that I hope that I'll be able to do something important and that puts something positive out into the world.
Thank you, guys. I definitely think that's the note to end on, that, that in spite of loss, that you can continue to be inspired and to put positive out into the world. Thank you, guys. Another round of applause for Lacey, Fred, and Daniel.